and welcome. Let's see how many of you are here. There's quite a few already here waiting, and so many of you are so kind to leave likes before I even start. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, don't forget to hit a like because I'm going to tell you something. YouTube demonetized my last video. Let me repeat that. YouTube demonetized the last video. I can't even appeal. They didn't give me an option to appeal. So they basically said, "Oh, this doesn't appeal to advertisers." So, and my last video was about Apple. My last video was about the AI in the Zucking camera. The AI. And they said, "Oh, yeah. You're talking about CSAM. So, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. So I better not tell you what CSAM is because they're going to demonetize this video too." It's like, Zuck. I mean, the whole topic wasn't even anything about CSAM. It was just on the side and they demonetized it. It's like crazy. So without any way of appealing it. So it's like, it doesn't really matter to me to demonetize. That doesn't have any impact on me. I don't make a living off the advertising. That's very little money. But if they flag a video, basically they stop sharing it. They stop sharing it to the masses, to the the mass viewers of YouTube, which means then I don't get new subscribers. So it's like really crazy for something that I had to tell you the truth. And because I told you the truth, then okay, I'm going to be demonetized. It's the crazy stuff I got to deal with here. The crazy stuff I have to deal with. I mean, what does CSAM have to do with anything? I mean, that was just a side of the topic. That's what Apple said they're going to do. And I'm just saying that that's not really what they're going to do. And it had nothing to do with CSAM, but about surveillance. This is the crazy stuff I got to deal with. So supposedly some YouTube employees somewhere, maybe they hired some people in Asia to go look at the videos, and they said, "Oh, he mentioned the meaning of CSAM, therefore I'm going to be demonetized." So they should demonetize anything from Apple then, because they're the ones who came up with it. Suck. I mean, the video was about the camera, about artificial intelligence, and they decided, "Oh, we're going to demonetize this." It's crazy stuff. So I'm not going to tell you what CSAM is. Go Google it because, go Google it. Let's see what Google says. CSAM. So I'm not going to tell you what CSAM is. It's like, more demonetization just because I actually explain what the acronym CSAM means. So CSAM is the point of the last video. The point of the last video is that it is not CSAM, which is really, really crazy. That's the point of the video. It is not CSAM, not. And I actually get demonetized for saying that it's not. It's like, you choose a topic and you say, "Oh, this is not about vax." Not. And then they demonetize you because you mentioned vax. Maybe that's what it is, because I said vax. Maybe that's what it is. It's another one of these control mechanisms. It's just, I don't really care if they demonetize this video. So, it's just crazy. Just crazy. This is what I got to deal with here. So, yes, please watch the video if you haven't watched it. I don't think they even shared it to all my subscribers. The last time I looked, the what do you call this? The reach, the impressions. The impressions were not even equal to the number of subscribers I have. So it hasn't even been shown to more than half of my subscribers, and and 18,000 of you already watched it, but yeah, it's still just a little bit over a day, and then they just stop because they're not going to feed it now. This is the kind of craziness I got to deal with. The last video. Please watch it. The last video, very, very important. Very, very important. And a lot of people just speak and they don't understand what it says, what the video is saying, and they say stuff like completely missing the point because they didn't really pay attention. So I'm going to make another video since that one is going to be considered to be dead now. So I'm going to make another similar video to explain exactly. I was going to do a live stream, then I said, let me hold that to the next video. So, hello, John Gann. They can't cower from the truth. They did watch about neural hash. So it's about neural hash. What does that have to do with CSAM? Well, Apple says it about CSAM, but I said it's not. Then they decided to demonetize me because they actually put a little label on the front that actually spelled out what CSAM means. And I guess that's enough. So we're not going to tell you what CSAM means because we're zucking censored in this zucking platform. We are censored. We can't even define something. We can't even define it. I'm not saying anything other than defining it. I probably can't even define vax. I'm probably not allowed to define what vax is. Define. I'm not even giving an opinion. I am not giving you an opinion about vax. Not. Oh, the algorithm is going to say, oh, you mentioned vax, so therefore we're going to demonetize you. Oh, by the way, if you mention it X number of times, then the algorithm is going to go choose that. So anyway, that's kind of crazy stuff. So the actual video is about AI. It's an AI video. It's what the AI is doing to your devices. It's a new kind of AI, and it's going to be everywhere. Not just on your iPhone. It's already on several devices, including your home cameras. It's starting to get in there. So once a device is, able to reach the internet and communicate, or not even the internet, some mesh network, and it's a camera, it can actually do things that goes beyond what you think it's going to do. So you should worry about your zucking Ring cameras because it's going to do something similar to zucking iPhone. Okay, so just zuck. So I don't really care, guys, if they demonetize this one, but I don't like it when they demonetize a video that has nothing to do with anything that they should demonetize about. There was nothing in the video that would be considered objectionable. It was a news report. I read a news report about what Apple's doing, and then I went off that and got into something completely different that had nothing to do with the news report. And they decided, oh, we're gonna demonetize this. So there's a platform for you, and they can control it. I really don't have any say. I don't have any say. But those who subscribe to me can watch it. They're not stopping you from watching it. They just won't share it with anybody else. They won't share it with anybody else who's not a current subscriber. So we'll live with that. We'll live with that. So, okay, we'll live with that. We're not going to worry about it. It's what it is. It's the platform that we're in. It has its limitations. And I'm under their control. I really don't have any power here. So, they can do whatever they want. So, let's get back to topic here. So, our topic tonight is, well, guess what? We're going to talk about Afghanistan. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be subject to censorship too, because that's a, big topic. Afghanistan. Okay, and yeah, Afghanistan is, since I'm going to be speaking against Biden, so that means, well, I'm not really, but, anything against Afghanistan, about showing you the faults of Afghanistan, will then go back and say, oh, you're being anti-Biden, therefore we're going to censor you again. It's like, fuck, I don't care. Do whatever you want. I don't really care. Okay? Do whatever you want. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So I don't know, guys. You might think that Biden is dumb for doing what he did in Afghanistan. Is he dumb, guys? Is he dumb for doing what he did in Afghanistan? Just saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna go leave," and then the Taliban came and they didn't make any plans, and sure enough, Taliban was at their door because they even planned to not even to destroy the material, the weapons that were left there, the tons and tons of weapons and helicopters and whatever they left there in Afghanistan is still there. So they didn't get rid of that. So now what? I'm just curious, guys. This is, we get into these things, we get into these wars, and then we leave them the weapons, and then now what? You think he's senile? You really think that? You think he's senile? I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist here. Maybe I have to be a conspiracy theorist. But Zuck, what if it's intentional? What if it's intentional? Because what happens, it's too peaceful now. We need some excuse to control the population. We need some more excuses. How do you make an excuse to control the population? Well, of course, you need another war. You need another war. Oh, more wars on terror. Like I said, war on terror 2.0. Oh yeah, we left the weapons. We left all the weapons in Afghanistan, and they're going to use it against us. I don't know what they left in there. Presumably a lot. They left a lot. So, was that an accident? Or do they really want, who makes money with these wars? Who makes money with these wars, guys? Well, of course, the companies that function as deep state, all of them, Raytheon and Boeing and, how many names do we need to mention? All of them. All of them. They all gain. The more wars there are, they sell these weapons to Afghanistan. Who do you think sold the weapons? It's all of those companies that made the missiles and this and that, and they sold it to Afghanistan, funded by the federal government. So they just love the federal government. So now they funded that, and then we're going to have another situation now where they have all of these weapons over there, and we just sit here and we're not even going to try to destroy the caches of weapons that were left in there. We're not even going to try that. Oh no. Oh no, that's not going to happen. Trust me, it's not going to happen. Trust me, it's not going to happen. So I'm wondering now if there's, did we really deserve the Patriot Act? Did we really deserve to get into, well, maybe we all deserve it, because when 9/11 happened, we all went crazy, and we got so mad, and we say, oh yeah, do anything. Well, we'll create a spy network, whatever you need to do to spy on Americans, because we need to protect ourselves from these fucking terrorists. And now the cure is much more severe. The cure is much more severe than the disease. Here we are many, many years later. This is 2001. We're now in 2020. 20 years later. 20 years later, and the cure is stiffer than the disease. And how many terrorists did they actually catch with the Patriot Act? How many? And they put in so many things. The TSA. And then all the mass surveillance and all the surveillance on the phone, all the surveillance, and and they just, in case you didn't know this, I'm going to repeat some of this. Some of you don't even realize. Back in the day, this was in 2001. In 2001, the biggest organization for collecting our data at the what is now the Utah Data Center, or whatever they had at the time. I don't think the Utah Data Center was around in 2001. But before all that happened, the biggest institution that had all of our data of every single American was the National Zucking Agency. The National Zucking Agency had all of that. And guess what happened after that? Guess what happened after the National Zucking Agency? During the time of Obama, and this could have been started by Bush, but during the time of Obama, they duplicated the spy capabilities of the National Zucking Agency and duplicated it at the Zucking IA. So now we got two organizations basically collecting data about all of us twice, not counting all these military based organizations or Department of Homeland Security and everything else. I don't even count that, just from the two, and not counting the Zucking BI either. So, and I'm not, the reason I have to say Zucking is because I can't really spend time making the video stand out by mentioning the names of the three-letter agencies, but you can kind of get the point here. So they duplicated the spy network of the National Zucking Agency, and duplicated that, the No Such Agency, No Such Agency, and then duplicated that at the Zucking IA. The Zucking IA. They duplicated it. They created duplicate systems. They have search programs just like Google Search. Just like Google Search. They can search for any information about any of you using a Google Search. I actually managed to see that. They enter the login to that before they kind of hid it. I think they put it behind a VPN now. But back in the day, like many years ago, you could actually get to the front end where you log into this secret system here. And I found that secret system and reference in a book. And sure enough, it did exist. And what it is that you can actually type in like a person. It's like Google Search, except it shows your emails and everything else. Everything about you is on there. And now that's been shared too. So it's not only just the National Zucking Agency, then the Zucking IA, and then that was combined during Obama's administration. They said, we're going to give you all access to the same stuff. So they now combine all of that. So now, combined, not combined, who knows? They got like multiple versions of things to spy on each and every one of us. Okay, for justification of what happened in Afghanistan. So just to make this clear, guys, the whole justification for this surveillance and loss of privacy that I focus on in my channel, the main reason and justification for doing this was Afghanistan, the Taliban back in 2001, Osama in 2001, all of that in 2001. And now, 20 years later, it was like, oh, okay, we're going to leave. And then, of course, they get our weapons and everything. And so, what now? And that's going to scatter to different countries. Those weapons will spread everywhere. So now we have to worry about different countries now with more armament from the spoils of Afghanistan. And they're going to come up and say, oh, danger, Will Robinson, danger. We got new terrorists now. We got to tighten the noose. We got to tighten the noose. We got to do more. We got to do more surveillance. We got to do all of this. And and you're not patriotic if you disagree. You're not. Oh my gosh, you must be a commie if you disagree with any of this. Oh no, we got to do this. They're going to call you a commie if you the commies will call you the commie if you disagree with any of this. And you think it's one party, right? I don't know what the party is. Both parties are in on this. So I don't know, guys. I am not sure this is as unplanned as it's made out to be. I don't know. There's some of this can be intentional. So, yeah. I don't know. I can't be sure, but my goodness, I'm just waiting for. These are the kinds of triggers that just I look ahead and I say, Oh yeah, they did that. If you act like an innocent, you're going to look at that and say, oh yeah, wow, Biden was so stupid. He just left all those people there, left all those Americans there, and so on, and left all the armament there, and all the war material that's been spread all over Afghanistan, helicopters and missiles and whatever they left in there, and say, oh my, yeah, yeah, that's Biden's so dumb. What if he's not dumb? What if he's not dumb? What if this decision was actually, arrived at by the deep state? They said, oh yeah, we need to rile up the population in some way, and we don't really care about Joe. Joe's just a puppet. We'll tell him to do this. We'll just tell Joe, hey Joe, why don't you abandon Afghanistan and leave everything there and just do it fast, as fast as you can? What if they told him to do that? Just a question. I'm not giving a conclusion here. I'm just saying, just watch what happens in the next year. Watch what happens. It just boggles the mind that these kinds of things happen, and you think that people are so dumb. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you about how the Zucking IA works, in case you didn't know. Let me just tell you about how the Zucking IA works. They're not Zucking dumb, okay? They model this. They create like simulation models of different situations, and they model what happens when certain scenarios change. Somebody has actually said, okay, what happens if, the whole War Games movie was all about all the scenarios. So you're telling me the Zucking IA just didn't present any scenario that said, oh, this might happen. So what if it turns out that he actually was presented some details, certain details were hidden in order for him to choose the option that we're at now, because that is the best thing for deep state. More Zucking war. Maybe that's what it's about. More Zucking war. Who knows? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just, thank you, Dragon Tech Gaming. Thank you. I'm not telling you anything. It makes me mad because I look at this and it's like, first of all, I'm mad at what, we spent 20 Zucking years in Afghanistan and they just said, oh, okay, we're just going to leave all of a sudden with no plan. And then I had to really think back. Are you sure there's no plan? Maybe there is a plan. Maybe there is one. So I don't know. It's just something that you all need to think about, because ultimately what is this all about? Everything we do in life is all about control. They're gonna find a way. Let's control these Americans. Let's control the American population. How do we control them? Get them to feel vulnerability. Let's make them feel vulnerable. Okay, so how do we do that? Oh yeah, let's make Afghanistan a threat again. Yeah. Oh, we'll spread it and say, oh yeah, it's not just Afghanistan, but it's spread to Pakistan, and spread everywhere, and all those armaments over there, they're going to go to all of Eurasia, and all the different Chechnya, and everywhere else where there are terrorists, and let's cause a crisis in the world because of all those weapons. Who Zucking knows? Thank you, Howard Floyd. I'm not giving you any information. I'm just giving you question. I really intended to do a different topic because, because I don't have a plan for this. It's more like I'm just kind of reacting at the moment here. I'm just reacting at the moment. I didn't have any plan of what I was going to say. I'm just like thinking about it, and it's like saying, 2.0. This just the thing in my mind was Patriot Act 2.0. So where are we with the Patriot Act? At many, many moments in the history over the 20 years, they could have eased up on the Patriot Act, the FISA law. FISA, remember FISA? Which was obviously used against Trump. And then suddenly you don't hear anything about it. Not that I care about Trump, but I do care about FISA, because FISA is a way for any of us to be investigated by a 3-letter agency just because of any contact with anybody who's not an American citizen. That is enough to trigger somebody to monitor you through FISA. And as you all know from the history of FISA, as has been published, pretty much 100% of any warrant given to the FISA court has always been approved. So that's the surveillance community for you, which justified the use of Stingray to listen to your phone conversations, justified the use of the Kalia law to listen to your phone conversations, justified all these backdoors. And now what other backdoors do they have supplied by Apple? What other backdoors do they have? What other backdoors do they have maybe associated with Qualcomm or Broadcom to spy on our devices? They can spy on me all day. At least, what I'm telling you is on the video. It's not I'm not hiding anything. Whatever I talk about is on the videos. So, that's hello, family tree. Thank you. How dangerous is the biometric equipment we left behind? I don't know what they left behind. Has anybody accounted for that? I don't know what was left behind. Do you know what was left behind? Why would they even bring it there and say, oh, okay, we're going to leave, and then you leave sucking equipment? They left it for the Afghanistan army, supposedly, right? Thank you, Mohit Honda. American Express, Dead America must refund the cost of rare earths and stolen from Afghanistan. Then we also get, don't we get what else do we get from there? Where does cobalt and lithium, is that from there too? Or what comes from Afghanistan? Oh, yeah, that's all this rare earth stuff that is used in electronics. Oh, yeah. Somebody's going to justify that. Somebody's going to justify that. Oh, yeah, we need to go back there and invade and cause more. Yeah, who knows? Oh, my gosh. Either the American government is really, really stupid, or there's always a plan. What do you guys think? Is the American government really that stupid? You tell me. I don't know. It's just, all I know is how it reflects on what we do in our privacy. Why don't we just get zucking left alone? We're not doing anybody we're not causing trouble, we're not doing anything, and yet they have to zucking spy on anything we do. And if any of my videos talk about surveillance or anything like that, mass surveillance, Google doesn't share it at all. Nobody watches it. So, yeah, so that's the question. It could be that maybe they took advantage of Biden because they said, okay, Biden looks stupid, so let's just feed him stuff. McAfee always said the president really has no power, that all the power is actually in deep state, because they can just send him information. Like I told you, any president would have been given a scenario that they study at the Zucking IA, and they say, okay, if you do this, these are all the possible scenarios that might happen. And here we are with a scenario that everybody said, oh, we'll just forget all this. We'll move on. We'll just leave without thinking about it. Do we really not think about it? Look how adamant he is, by the way. Biden was very adamant about, oh, yeah, it is what it is. We had to leave, and therefore we left. Too bad. Or whatever he said. I didn't watch him, but I didn't watch him. but it's yeah. So anyway, I'm out of time, so let's get into the Q&A section. This video is sponsored by Linode. So Linode is my cloud provider, one of my cloud providers, one of my biggest cloud providers, and I really like Linode because they have one of the best in service and actually very reasonable price. I actually compared. I saw a ad for another cloud company, digital, digital something, and and they basically copied Linode, everything, including locations and pricing. Almost everything was a copy, but then Linode was better. So there you go. So if you're looking for a good cloud provider, I can't think of anything right now that's better than Linode and is at the right price. So I've been looking and I haven't found anything better. So if you go to Linode and use the code /Rob Braxman, capital R, capital B, then they'll give you a discount. They'll give you $100 credit, which you can use within 2 months. And then you'll save quite a bit of money. If you're interested in setting up your own Linux server, you can set up a Jitsi server, your Nextcloud, a website for $5 a month, things like that. So if you're interested in doing any of that, consider Linode. Okay, so anyway, again, to go back to what I said at the beginning of the video. Yeah, I was demonetized, guys. Demonetized by ducking YouTube. And this is the funny part. They told me I was demonetized, and yet they're still feeding videos. They're still feeding ads on the video. I'm so curious about, what that actually means. I suppose it's good. If they're still making money from the video, they might share it. But the problem with the demonetization is that it affects my channel in a big way. If they stop sharing my videos, then I don't get new subscribers. So in case you don't understand how it works here on YouTube, I don't really have any power. YouTube makes you grow. I don't have any influence on making my channel grow. All I do is make videos, and by chance YouTube will decide that they want to share it. If they choose to share your videos, then you grow. If they choose not to share your videos, then you don't grow. So my channel has grown pretty quickly, and now, we're right about the same level as the top people in the privacy field. So we're now equal to anybody else here on YouTube with this kind of message. There's only a couple of us that actually are maybe the big players in talking about privacy here on YouTube, and we're about the same level now. But to be honest, it's really dependent on YouTube. So if YouTube stops sharing my content in some way, if they kind of look at me and say this is a bad guy, then I stop growing. So it is a worry. It's a worry because it's the only way that I'm actually monetizing this is to get reach by expanding the audience. So yeah, so if I can't expand the audience, then it will have a big impact on me. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm just telling you right now that right now they demonetized the last video, and I'm gonna redo the video without mentioning anything about CSAM and talk about kind of a bigger aspect of that problem, and we'll see what happens. But it's really sad because the video was doing very well. The video was doing very well, and they basically slashed it. So, okay. Thank you, Spartan. Thank you, Spartan. World News. I'm already on Odyssey. I'm on Odyssey. If you exclude the library channels, the actual channels from the platform, I would be number 11 on the platform. So that's pretty big. So number 11 on the platform. I think Trump would be number 14. So yeah, number 11 on that platform. So I'm already there. But the problem is, the reach on YouTube is just so much bigger. You grow on YouTube, and I grow in a little bit at a time over in Odyssey, but most of the growth really comes from YouTube. So unfortunately, I got to reach people who've never heard of this topic before. So I have to rely on YouTube here and see where we are. So yeah, I'm kind of dependent. Like, I'm not really free to say anything I want to say. So in my videos here on the live stream, it doesn't matter because my live streams are really focused on reaching existing subscribers. And often when I do a live stream, I will lose some subscribers. That's the normal way of things. I do a live stream because it only appeals to existing subscribers, and some of you will unsub because of something I said here. So if you're a big Biden fan, you might say, "Oh, he said something bad about Biden, so let's go unsub." Whatever you want to do, you can do. It's okay. You're free to do whatever you want. So I'm on T-Mobile, so that data breach is material to me. They said they got names and date of birth, maybe addresses. They said they did not get passwords or social security number. Maybe that's what they said. I think they got phone numbers, so that will lead to junk mail. Of course, that information is already out there. It's on the Equifax hacks. If you're an Equifax, anybody who has credit, they already got your name, your address, your phone number, and that's why we get all these junk calls. And that's probably from Equifax. So the one from T-Mobile would be very similar. I'm not sure it's going to be any different. But if you have a T-Mobile account, you may want to change your password. Because don't trust what they say. Don't trust what they say. Lithium comes a lot from Peru. Oh, I actually, there's certain parts of it, like it's like cobalt. There's some rare elements that actually, not just the lithium, but whatever they mix into the chemistry of a battery, and some of that is a rare earth. Can they do a SIM swap with that thievery? At this point, we're beyond trying to wake up. I got like 4 telemarketing calls today. That's it? That's it? That's all you got? So, you don't get the truth anywhere on mainstream media. Correct. Yeah, if you trust any mainstream media, I don't know. I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you something. I've said this in so many videos. It's really, really important. It's really important because somebody like me, I actually appreciate it, because what I have are several isolated identities that I use for YouTube and Google in particular. What I do is I do browser isolation. So on one of my accounts, I have Chrome. I'm running Chrome on it. I have YouTube on it. And then I choose websites that I look at daily just to make sure that YouTube thinks that's what I'm thinking. And I'm very careful what I do on that kind of side. Because I'm logged into YouTube with my channel account, so they know exactly who I am. I'm very careful about what I do on there. So what I do there is I told a line. It's my conformist channel. I conform. If they want me to, think X, and then I watch videos of X. I click on things that relate to X. I make sure they think that I'm a conformist on that channel, on that browser. So because I'm logged in to Chrome, Chrome is actually tracking everything I'm doing, and every ad and everything that they see is as they expect. As they expect. Then I have other browsers where I never, ever, ever log into anything YouTube, anything Google, anything that is owned by Facebook, anything that requires, that allows any of these companies from ever knowing what I think. Because I never log into those channels, I don't even care about cookies because they don't know who I am. I turn location off. So I have that on a couple of different browsers. I have one that's running Brave and one that's running Firefox. And on that, I do whatever I want. If I want to research something, some of the topics today, if I want to research Afghanistan, I'm going to go over there. I'm not going to do it on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm just, doing fun things. Totally. If you look at what I do on my Chrome browser, you would say this guy is just not concerned with the world and not concerned with any world event. And I'm just a conformist, and they can funnel all the ads they want to funnel me because I'm a conformist. That's what they see of me. And on my other channel, on my other browser, I feel free because I do anything, and there's never an identity. I never log into anything that can collect my information, which are two companies basically: Google Ads, related platforms, and Facebook. So if you don't have an identity, and I have the Google phone, the whatever I do on there doesn't go anywhere. So if you have a Google phone, it's the same thing. So on a Google phone, you really have no identity. They can't tie any attribute to you. So they can't say, oh, this guy's thinking this, because we don't know who the guy is. Some of you ask me, thank you, Base Blue Boy. Some of you ask me, do you, do I need to do anything special with the Google phone? No, you don't have to do anything special with the Google phone, because the key to the Google phone, like here's one. This is a Pixel 4. You don't have to do anything special with the Google phone because there's no identity. So they don't know who's using this. There's no name, no permanent attribute, no IMSI, no IMEI, no nothing. You never logged in. There's, locations off. And then some of the attributes that someone could get, like IMSI and IMEI, is not available because there's no Google to get it. You have to be at the root level to get access to IMEI and IMSI on the phone. Since there is no root level program running on the phone, that nobody gets that kind of information on it. So you can do anything on it. It doesn't matter. You're just a gray kind of identity on the internet, and you don't have to worry about anything. So that's how you kind of like separate your information and your identities. And then you feel free because then you don't have to worry about anything. Like, if I do this and I search for anything, in this case, I'm not using Chrome for searching. So I use some other search engine on here. And you kind of feel like, well, nobody knows who I am. Nobody can track it. And there's no phone identity, so it's pretty cool. So it's very freeing, very freeing. You guys really should go back and think about doing browser isolation. That's in my video. It's not a very popular video, but it's so important. If you just watch that browser isolation video, that technique in there is something I do every day. It's just a habit now. I go in there and I click. Now, some of you, let's say, some of you will go watch CNN, some of you will watch Fox News. Okay? I mean, the US people. And that is a very profiling action. If you pick CNN versus Fox News or the reverse, you're heavily profiled. So in my case, what I do is I purposely click on one to make sure that, Google knows I'm picking that. And when they do, then they make some decisions about who I am and my preferences, and they start pumping ads related to that, and it's a very joyful thing for me to see that. If the ads that I see are focused on one side, then I really like it. It means it's working. Are passwords safe when browsers store them? No, no, Zuck, I don't do that. Base Blue Boy. I do not ever store passwords on a browser. No, no, do not do that. I don't know who came up with that. Use a password manager. Do not use your browser for passwords. So yeah, somebody just told me that Flock is changing again. The original Flock profiling was supposed to be no identity. You're just gonna be, they're just gonna put people in certain Flock cohorts, and no, they're not gonna do that now. Now they're gonna assign your identity multiple cohorts, meaning instead of saying here's a cohort and here's a collection of identities in here, they're just going to say, what's your identity? What are all the cohorts you belong in? Meaning through profiling. That's apparently the new change. I just heard that yesterday. So, what are the ways I can hide my identity from corporation? The best one, corporation, you mean Apple, Google? Obviously, the Google phone is one, and your IP address, those two. IP address and a Google phone. So HV, that is actually none of your business, to be honest. Ever heard of HIPAA? They don't want to do that anymore. So they want me to go to a restaurant just to eat, and which actually is happening now. And I got to show my vaccination card. Which it's an issue. It's a different issue with when you show a vaccination card to people you already know, like if you're part of an organization and they already know who you are. Okay, that's one thing. Although that's really none of their business, but okay, because that's privacy. That's privacy. So then the other side of it is when you show your vaccination card to people you don't know. So you actually go into a restaurant, and I got to show you a vaccination card that has my name on it. I mean, why do I need to do that? Why do I need to show you my identity? This is, I sometimes I wonder if this vaccination thing is a way to, maybe it's part of the Afghanistan thing. Let's build all these control elements in the population by requiring everyone to show their names. Obviously, you don't have to show your name when you vote. Only when you go to a restaurant. Only when you go to a restaurant. But if you're going to vote, that's okay. No problem there. But if you are going to a restaurant, no, they got to check your identity. They got to make sure. So some of the organizations I belong to are now requiring vaccine passports, and my initial response was, well, then I'm not going to go to those organizations because conceptually I don't like doing that. Now, on the other hand, it doesn't matter because they already knew who I am, so it doesn't have any main effect on me. But that the majority of the people now think that you need to show all this, and my reaction is, if you're vaccinated, let's say you're vaccinated, why do you need to worry about anybody else? You're already vaccinated. I don't get this. I mean, it's really very simple. You can take care of yourself. You make your choices. So let's say you chose to get yourself vaccinated. Fine, you're vaccinated. So why do you need to care about anybody else? It's not going to affect you. You're safe. But no, that's not good enough. No, we got to control people. We can't give them choices. We can't give them choices, even though they may have some disease or something that prevents them from doing something. Oh no, we can't give them choices. We gotta go check this ID. So we're gonna make life extremely difficult for people, for example, with autoimmune disorders where they're taking steroids, and it's like, where it's very dangerous for them to be taking stuff like this. And oh no, we got to ignore that population. Oh no, they don't count. They don't have a say here. But you're already safe. You're already. I don't get this. You're already safe. You got vaccinated. You believe in this. You got vaccinated. You're done. So why do you need to care about the other guy? I mean, it's their business. If they get sick, then they get sick. The majority of them are going to be fine. They're going to get sick and they're going to get well. That's pretty much a extremely large proportion of it, just like the flu. So nobody forces you to get a flu shot. So, okay, but oh no, we got to control. It's the aspect of control is what gets me. The aspect of control is what gets me. So why do I need to control somebody else when you are given a choice? You are given a choice to get vaccinated, and you chose to get vaccinated. Therefore, you're good. You're already good. So, you don't have anything to worry about anymore. So, it's not of your business anymore. It's their business. But no, we can't do that. We can't do that. I mean, we got to judge for people. We don't even know if there are any risks, long-term risks, but okay, we got to judge for other people. So I don't know. I don't know. I must be sounding like a conspiracy theorist here. I'm sure I'm going to get demonetized now. Sure, you can get COVID, eagle sores. Sure, you can. So what? It's not going to hurt you much. You get a little sniffle and then that's it. Oh yeah, there are breakthrough cases. Come on. If you have a breakthrough case, then you can't do anything anyway. You get vaccinated, you don't get vaccinated, you're going to get hit. So what do you need to worry about? Meaning, you did the best you can, which is, you decided to get vaccinated, so you did the best you can. So why do you need to care about somebody else? You already took the best that you can do. So I don't know. So some people already got COVID. Oh no, we can't, that's not good enough. So, yeah, so I saw this vaccination passport coming, and it just, again, I don't, this is not about getting vaxxed or not getting vaxxed. This is not that video. Okay, YouTube, this video is not to tell people to get vaxxed or not. This is not about that. Okay, AI, think about it. The question that I have is having passports, meaning control, which is what this channel is all about. This channel is about why do we need this control where it affects our privacy. Why do we need that? Because that is what this channel is all about. Privacy. And it's like I'm supposed to show my identity to people I don't know. And that's much more important to me than it is to you. To me, that's pretty important. I don't like showing my identity when I go to a restaurant. I choose how I pay for my bill very consciously about making choices about, how I identify myself in a restaurant. I mean, people know me. People may know me just from looking at me, and I can't walk in the streets anymore and assume nobody knows me. There's a good number of people that have seen me. So it bothers me when I have to show an identity with my real name on it, because I'm not supposed to fake some card. So, but I have to show an identity. Well, I don't like that. I do not like that. And I reluctantly may agree to that in a private setting where people already know me. But you know, to a restaurant, just like what New York wants to do, you walk into a restaurant and you're basically turning every restaurant into a police state. Yeah, Zach. And that's going to be the standard with whatever aspect of our behavior. They're going to be expecting this, and people are like actually believing this and saying, "Oh yeah, we need to do this. Oh yeah, we need to require this to be safe." What does that have to do with safety? You already got vaccinated. You're already safe. Mostly. That's about safe as you can get. So, what else can you do? The best thing you can do is to get vaccinated according to them. Therefore, if you get vaccinated, then why do you need to worry about what other people do? Oh, I know. They're they're overrunning the hospitals. Yeah, that's the logic now. They're overrunning the hospitals. So I wonder if that's going to continue. There's a surge right now, but yeah, we'll see. Booster shots for well, you get a booster shot for flu every year. Yeah, just on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not telling you about the vaccination itself. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying to you that I don't like getting carded. I do not like getting carded. Thank you, Mohit Honda. Thank you. I do not like getting carded. So this video is slated for complete demonetization. I can see it now. But who cares? They're going to demonetize this video. For certain. Guaranteed. I'm not even going to fight it. They're going to demonetize all they want. I know what I'll do. I'll take off monetization on this video. The moment I end the stream, I'll take monetization out. That way they don't get a chance to make the judgment. I'll make the judgment on it. I'm going to take monetization out. So you won't see an ad. You won't see an ad. Because it's like, oh yeah, I could lose $5. I take monetization out. I could lose $5 in this video. Oh my gosh. I won't be able to buy that cup of coffee. So, yeah. No, I don't have to put it on private, then you don't get to see it. I want you to see it, but I just want to don't give them the benefit of the benefit of the demonetization attempt. So even while I'm talking here, I'm gonna go to my YouTube account and disable monetization on it. So I'm a little distracted then. So while I'm talking here, I'm gonna set it now because I want them. I don't want them to have the option. They start the process of judging a video the moment the video ends, and then they start to do a check to see if they're going to monetize it. So if you just came into the video, to the live stream, what happened was they demonetized my other video that was about Apple. They demonetized it. It's the craziest thing. It's like, why would you demonetize that video? What the heck did I say? The only thing I can think of was that I defined what CSAM means. Okay, I defined it. It's a CSAM is a well, since this video is now not monetized, I guess I can say anything now because it doesn't matter. Okay, this video is no longer monetized. I took away the monetization. Okay, what CSAM is basically pedophile pics. That's what CSAM is. Okay? And so I defined it, and they said, oh, we're going to demonetize you because you mentioned these terms. So Simply mention the word child is enough to get you demonetized. So it's fucked up. At some your voice needs what? What my voice needs what? I missed that. Is there a fault on the mic? Is there a fault on the mic? I lost the comment. It went so fast. I mean, there's so many comments here. So hopefully, if there's any functional thing like, video or voice not working, let me know, because that I can fix. So can I buy Brax router with Amazon gift card? Yes, of course you can. Voice is good. Thank you. MK, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, obviously those who are politically minded will have unsubscribed by now. So that'll show up in the video later as unsubs. Every video I have will lose, I don't know, 50 subscribers or something. Nothing shocking there. Yeah, I lose about 50 subscribers for any video. There was one video I think that actually gained like 5, something like that, which is amazing, because that means that I gained more than I lost. But the typical average is I lose 50 per video, per live stream. It kind of makes me wonder if I should do live streams because of it. But then I realized, I can't really worry about it. I can't worry about it. Okay, can't worry about it. So this video is no longer monetized, so we can say everything we want to say, and we're not gonna fucking care. We got 30 minutes to talk about anything we want. Afghanistan is Vietnam 3.0. In theory, you would think that, but there's always a motive. The Vietnam War was based on a false premise, which was the Gulf of Tonkin incident. That's what Johnson used to justify the Vietnam War. He said, well, the Viet Cong were attacking U.S. ships in the Gulf of Tonkin incident, when actually they weren't. They just happened to be in the area when they were doing whatever they do over there. So the ship was in the zone where where the Viet Cong were in, and that was justified. That was used to justify the Vietnam War, and we already know that the war in Iraq was justified by weapons of mass destruction, which they never found. So it's really crazy now. So you think that they left Afghanistan, that Biden was so dumb he just left Afghanistan, and he didn't know that this could possibly happen. And in my estimation, the government doesn't work that way. There's going to have to have been presented. He's going to have to have been given options and scenarios and simulations, saying that if you do this, there's so much percentage chance this will happen, there's so much percentage chance that will happen, just like you saw in the movie War Games, where the computer simulation comes up with all the scenarios. Either the computer is screwed up and didn't come up with a proper scenarios, or deep state figured, oh, we'll just use Biden as a scapegoat because we want him to cause a problem over there, because we're going to use it. We're going to use it. We are going to use that. So that's certainly a possibility, isn't it? You either think that this government is so dumb, or maybe it's not dumb. You guys decide for yourself. This is, with all these simulation modeling that they do, they simulate every event in the world. I mean, this is something that we've known for forever. Many movies even talk about this. They simulate every event in the world and what the effect is. So you're telling me nobody simulated this. So what would happen if Afghanistan? Of course he simulated it. The question is, what is the final intent? I don't know. My guess is that the final intent is Patriot Act 2.0. I think that's the final intent here. More control. That's what I think. That's what I think. It's always something bad. Never good. Never good. Yeah, sloppy pullout. Yeah, but why is it sloppy? Are they really that dumb? I mean, look at the armed forces. I mean, my goodness. I mean, they're very, very organized. They got everything well thought out, and they just, we're just going to do this. We already know the Taliban is already, attacking all the outskirts. They're already in Kandahar, and they're going to move fast, and they're already capturing all these. And they kept going. They didn't even pause. And we really need to get out of here before 9/11 because we don't want it to look like we stayed here 20 years later. We're not going to stay here even one day past 20 years. Not even one day past that. No, we're going to get out of here. Although the reality is we weren't even in Afghanistan on 9/11. Afghanistan happened way after 9/11. 9/11, we didn't know what was happening, and the troops were sent to Afghanistan later. It wasn't on 9/11. Come on, guys, look at your history. We did not send troops in Afghanistan in 9/11. We did not do that. What happened on 9/11? We were still digging out the rubble in New York and the Pentagon. We were digging out from all the problems here. We were examining with all these commissions. We're trying to figure it out. And then they came to a conclusion that it's all these terrorists hiding in Afghanistan. And then that was part 2. That did not happen on 9/11. And we got to pull out 9/11 like that was some special date. It was in response to 9/11. So why are we leaving on 9/11 before we're ready, unless they do want the trouble? They do want the trouble. I think it is 2002, Cynthia. I think so too. I don't recall us going there. In fact, the first few people were sent there were advisors. If I remember right, in 2002, they sent advisors first, like Zucking IA advisors. There was no actual, soldiers. There were CIA kind of, Zucking IA kind of operatives. So, yeah. And then we had to leave on 9/11 exactly. Symbolic. Oh, right. Right. So it doesn't make any sense. But, I guess we don't know the actual ulterior motive here. Maybe in their modeling, they figured out what was going to happen. In their modeling, maybe, I'm not like most people. I do not think the government is dumb. I do not think that. I think that somebody plans all this. Somebody in deep state knows more than they're telling us. Somebody plans what they're going to surveil. Somebody thinks about all this. Somebody actually told me kind of a stupid question, but, well, if we have all this surveillance capability, then how come criminals can still escape? How come there's still crime? How does that happen? Because you're not worth it. You have to be worth it. Let me just tell you, a reality here. I saw here in California, I saw riots occur where they burned down businesses in Santa Monica. Okay, I saw those burned buildings in Santa Monica. I saw it on TV when they were breaking in, and I can remember some of those faces I saw on TV. How come, now they can do facial recognition. How come I don't see anybody getting arrested here in California when they clearly saw those faces on TV of people breaking in and stealing and looting in those bits. How come I don't see anyone on TV saying, "Oh yeah, we arrested such and such. We did facial recognition and we know who they are. Oh, we also did the geo fencing. We know who was at this area at that time, so we can investigate, and we have the photos on TV with the security cameras and mainstream media that showed all the riots and all that with their faces, and so we can actually arrest them." Of course not. Of course not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's crazy because it's very selective here. Selective. They're going to pick and choose, what is important to the cause and what's not, and then make a decision on situations where they need to use that kind of resources to identify who is where when. It's so easy. They could have done geofencing and found everyone anywhere and categorized them. It is so easy to do that. But they said, no, we'll only categorize one side, and we'll actually only track the activities of only one side. A very interesting point, right? I mean, why not be fair? Or why not track both sides? Or track neither side? But this selectivity, someone actually made a comment on my video once that there was only violence on one side. There was no violence on one side. All the violence was on, one political side. And it's like, are you crazy? I mean, did you actually get your news so warped that you didn't see? Obviously, there's violence, and I saw violence everywhere for different reasons. But they selectively show and make some of them disappear. They don't talk about it. The news doesn't show it. So, yeah. Have you checked out the app Traced? No. So, do I ever worry? Yes, of course I worry crunch wrap, but no actual secrets for me here. Back in my Periscope days, when I was doing live streams on Periscope, I had a prop which I cannot even show. In fact, I believe it's behind me right now. The prop. I can't even show it because the AI will actually pick it up. So if I move and the AI picks up the prop that's right behind me, which you cannot see, I better stand like this so the AI doesn't pick it. But if the AI sees the prop behind me, then they will ban me because you're not allowed to show even toys on videos. Even toys. And it's a toy. Not allowed to show it. Okay, so right, and just like there's certain topics I cannot discuss on YouTube that will cause you to get demonetized, and I already talked about what it is. It's anything vax related, anything like that. You can't talk about. Can't talk about any of that. UST want to say thanks. Who's UST? Oh, just. You probably just left a letter there. So, learn to grow your own food. I do have a channel for my bug out vehicle. So I'm on another channel, my Rob's Off-Grid Sailing channel. Go follow that. So follow my other channel, Rob's Off-Grid Sailing Channel, Sailing Vessel, Rob's Off-Grid Sailing Vessel. It's shown on the top of the video. I mean the channel. It's one of the channel's promos. So if you go to the channel page, you'll see the link. Then I have a jazz page to where I do music. So if you want to see what I do on the boat, where I do the videos, my videos are actually done on the boat. No, I'm not going to start a Telegram channel. I'm not particularly fond of Telegram. You know, the phone number thing. I don't want that. Do you think of course he wants mandated vaccine. What are you talking about? JB, you're not one of those who will actually unsub, because every time I do a live stream, you know, I get 50 unsubs. Maybe on this one I'll get 100 unsubs. Maybe 200 unsubs. That's expected. It's expected. But that's okay, you know, we gotta I gotta tell you the truth. You either like it or you don't like it. Somebody said they unsubbed me because of what I talked about in my Apple video. It's like, you're unsubbing because you're Apple supporter? I mean, so you don't want to hear what I'm going to say, even though it's true? You know, I just can't help people. You do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. It is what it is. You know, I can't lie to you. I have to present to you how I am, how I think. You may not like it. You may like it. I'm pretty flexible. You couldn't really categorize me in one side or the other, but in certain aspects of things, I just want to be left alone. It's just very basic. You know, I want to leave you alone. You can do whatever you want, choose whatever you want to choose. That's what I want for you, and that's what I want for me as well. I just want to be left alone. No artificial control, no artificial forces trying to tell me what to do or define what I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to think. That's what privacy is to me in application. It's basically being free to judge for yourself based on freely available information, not controlled information. That is what I stand for. D Moose, thank you. You're counteracting those who are unsubscribing by I'm sure by dozens and dozens by now. I'm sure dozens and dozens of unsubs, maybe hundreds. Because this is one of my frankest videos. I'm just being frank here. It is what it is. So, if you don't like what I talk about, then you don't really care about privacy. So if you don't really care about privacy, why are you here, right? So, thank you, Nathan. Thank you. So, this is about privacy. Everything I talk about, I'm very consistent. You know, I do not care about politics. I do not care for political people. I don't like any of them. I don't like any politician. Any. So I never talk here from a side of politics. I always talk from a side of, have you done anything? Hey, did anybody vote down the Patriot Act and say, okay, we are 20 years past 9/11. Maybe we should reduce or eliminate the FISA court or some of these other things. Maybe we should put limits on some of these. No, they're not going to do that. No limits. No, going to do more of it. More and more and more, and then more equipment for doing that. More technology, and and the new technology that they're using, which I'm gonna tell you about again, because apparently they want me to tell you about what Apple's doing. So we'll do that again. I'm gonna do a similar video to what I did with the Apple thing, but show it to you in a kind of a bigger light outside of Apple and see what's actually happening, because it actually it's kind of scary. They may be doing it on Ring cameras as well now. They may be doing it well, I know the technology is available to the Ring camera people, because the technology for what I'm talking about is in the API for Amazon AWS. You can actually rent the service. They can do it for you. You can write software today that can do this kind of surveillance. It's already built into Amazon AWS. You just need to pay Amazon. So, yeah, and that's all I talked about on the video. And YouTube said, "Oh, we're gonna demonetize you." Well, zuck you. What about Skynet? I have so many videos on Skynet. So many videos on Skynet. At least one of them is popular. The other one is not. Did you make a dispute? They did not offer an option to dispute because they said it was a manual review. Somebody manually reviewed it. It was not automated. They did not. I still spoke out. I left a comment, but that doesn't do anything. They did not allow for review. So in some cases they said, "Oh, final decision." So they made a final decision, and I don't really care about that. I don't really care if they demonetize, but the demonetization has very certain effects on my shorter videos, not the live stream ones. The effect of that is that they do not share the video. That video was doing well, and they said, "We're not going to share this." Thank you, Goy Goddess 2. Thank you. So I just have a few minutes left here. 9 minutes. So anyway, we're gonna get into exciting stuff. I'll take the Apple story and expand that, because that's actually a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger. I mean, the technology is existing all around you now. All around you, it's everywhere. And what Apple's doing is actually just one side. Well, I'll give you kind of a hint of the issue. The problem with the Apple thing, I mean, the technology for doing what I'm talking about is already there everywhere. But the technology for Apple is that it can be remote controlled. That's what's scary about the Apple one. It can be remote controlled. They have the capacity to give instructions to the machine to say, "Machine, do this. Go spot this guy. Go check out a specific person. Go check out activities that are happening in a specific area." They can do that on the Apple version, because they can actually give it new instructions that no one can see, because it's encrypted or hashed. They cannot see the instructions. So this is why it's extra scary to me. When I studied that and understood what they were actually trying to say, I said, OMG, where are we going here? Apple version of facial recognition. It's beyond facial recognition. It's beyond that. The basic thing is context, awareness. Okay, there's two different things. You can take a photo, and in order for the photo to make sense to somebody has to review the photo. So you're talking about, if there are millions of photos posted every day, then millions of eyes have to see those photos and analyze them and categorize them, which takes too long. So now they found a way to categorize them by saying, well, instead of just saying, millions of random photos, turn them into context. Let the machine find scenarios, and based on those scenarios, report them. So instead of giving you 10 million photos a day, they're just going to give you what has a scenario match. And it just could be a few. Let's say you're looking for a specific person, looking for what a specific person does. Wow. You'll be able to track a person anywhere. Anywhere. Because there's cameras everywhere. And the more cameras that are attached to this network, this system of tracking where you can give secret instructions, what the heck? Where are we going here? Does the Cyber Symposium seem interesting? I don't know what that is. I only know DEF CON and Black Hat. Kurndal, you don't understand. Well, watch the current video. The one that was demonetized. Watch that first. Let's see if, it gets you started. Please watch that video. If you haven't seen it, please watch that video that I did that was demonetized about neural hash. Please watch the video about neural hash. And then see if that kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about here. Okay? So watch that video. That has been demonetized. That doesn't mean that you're not going to see ads. You may still see ads. However, YouTube will, I'm sure, decide that they're not going to share that video. So the effect of that will be that it will basically not grow. The video will not grow. Okay, so watch that. Okay, so neural hash is a specific Apple implementation, but the general technology is the neural hash is the instructions, but the general technology is something I'm going to talk about in my next video, so you actually understand the implications of that. Because everybody was so caught up with the word hash, and anybody who's a computer guy is, we know what a hash is, so everyone's thinking they know what they're talking about, when in fact the topic is something else. So that's what I'm going to try to expose you to, is what it really means, and it's really nothing to do with the hash itself. I have YouTube Red, no ads. Right. The video being demonetized affects me. It doesn't affect you. When it's demonetized, to me it means that they're going to limit visibility. That's really what it means. Limit visibility, which means I'm not going to grow from that video. I'm not going to get subscribers. So, which is really sad. Every one of these videos are so difficult to make. Videos are very hard to make. My videos. I don't give you ordinary videos. Every video has to be researched, and it takes so much time to make them. It's very, very stressful to make videos, and it occupies me all week making one video. So the effect. So when my channel growth is affected, so the channel growth is really decided on by Google. Google decides if my channel is going to grow or not. So they decided that it was going to grow, and now maybe they'll decide it won't grow. So we'll see. So all I can do is just do my best, come up with these videos, come up with these ideas. And you always know that I'm not giving you something that I just regurgitate as something similar to what somebody else said. None of my videos are things you find anywhere else. So if you will find that, I haven't watched like Louis Rossmann, the iPhone guy, to see what he said about this topic. I was told that it's something similar. I don't know what they said. I didn't watch it. But I'm going to tell you right now, chances are that I gave you a different explanation. Chances are my explanation is unique, because I didn't take it from anyone. My explanations are my own on any topic. The hidden radio, which is one of the top new videos in this channel didn't come from anybody else. I researched that myself and I made my own conclusions from it. So, do you cover up the camera on your phone? I cover up the camera on my computers. I have an option on my phone. It's called sensors off. It deactivates the camera. So I don't need to do that. I have a sensors off switch and the camera stops working. The Google phones work with any carrier if they're Pixels. Any. If they're not Pixels, they work only with GSM carriers. So like OnePlus 6s and Motorola's mostly work only with GSM, meaning T-Mobile and AT&T. Thank you, Carrie Marie. I like to see your test demo of jamming. That's pretty easy to do, and I'm not sure anyone would watch it. There's already a channel that did that. The crazy Danish hacker. He already did that, so I wouldn't be doing anything different than what he did. So just follow him. Yeah, he did jamming. So it's easy. I mean, you know, what he's doing is pretty mechanical. I can do the same thing. So if you want to watch it, then you can watch that and give him some. That's a good channel, the Crazy Danish Hacker. Kind of techie, but if you're that kind of guy or gal, then you should watch that. Okay, guys, I'm out of time. Thank you for watching. Don't my stream just cut out. Why is your channel blocked on Odyssey? What do you mean, why is my channel blocked on Odyssey? My channel is not blocked on Odyssey that I'm aware of. What does that mean, blocked? Somebody needs to tell me that on Brax.me. Why would I be blocked? I'm number 11 on Odyssey among the non-library channels. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. So I'm working hard already on thinking about the next video. It's very hard to do this. So just so you know, every day is working, defending each of you. So that's all I think about. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Good night. Bye-bye.